Welcome everybody, I'm Nia.
I'm Nani.
And this is Rum News! And happy Earth Day, super excited. By the way, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but we did miss our 1 year anniversary, yay!
It was last month, we took the month off, there was just a lot going on, but we've been doing this 1 year, you guys.
That's
Can you
crazy.
believe it?
Can anybody believe it?
Time flies.
It's crazy.
When you're having fun and getting drunk.
Yeah, when you're having rum. So today we're gonna start obviously with Earth Day celebration, which we're super excited. So we are gonna start with some of our favorite eco-friendly rum brands. So
But before that, get your shots ready.
Get your shots ready.
Get
happy
your drinks
1
ready.
year.
Happy 1 year. Happy Earth Day. Happy all the things. Happy April
to be
22nd.
back.
Right? Yeah, we missed last month. So
cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Okay, I left a little bit in there.
Yeah, that was you definitely did like more than a pirate's pour for yourself. So we just did a shot of Demon Rum. If y'all didn't see our video collabing with Paul from Drums and Rum, we reviewed Demon Rum. That we had this bottle and I think 1 or 2 other bottles of theirs, but we're mentioning them today because if you can tell from the video, they have one of those earth-friendly collapsible bottles, and I think Nia has a little more information about Demon Rum and their eco-friendliness.
Yeah, what's really cool is they donate 45 cents of each bottle. They use 94% of the bottle is made with recyclable paperboard, which is awesome. And what's really impressive about this packaging is the fact that it's so sturdy.
Yeah.
When we heard paperboard bottles,
we were just like,
that's weird. Like it's
how is it gonna work?
apart.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's so well constructed that I am very impressed. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but when we went to the Treasure Coast Small Craft
Spirits Festival.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. Anyway, that thing. Make sure you check out that video because we had such a blast there and met a ton of really cool people. But there was a vodka company, that had this same bottle. So it's interesting that it's picking up.
Yeah, it's making its way,
and more and more companies are utilizing too, because believe it or not, this is 6 times less carbon footprint, 82% less water when you ship this way.
Yep.
As well as 5 times lighter than glass. So all of that makes it so
and
much
at the end of the day,
environment.
you guys, the rum inside is the same as if it came in a glass bottle. So why not be a little more eco-friendly? Save some plastic, save the ocean, save, anything you can. Like I said, the bottle is extremely sturdy. It looks like a stereotypical bottle until you have it up close and you can see that it is, paper made. Aside from that, it holds the product. It does what it's supposed to do. It doesn't feel damp. It doesn't feel wet because it has like a bag that's in there.
Yeah, because we finished one bottle and actually opened it up.
Yeah, we were curious. We were curious as to how it stayed so sturdy. So, at the end of the day, the product that's inside is what's important. Yes, the packaging, it's pretty to look at and aesthetically pleasing, but, what's inside of it is more important than, having a pretty glass bottle.
Agreed. So,
that being said, so that being said, we used their bottle today and their rum, it's good rum, to kick off our eco-friendly Earth Day. So we're gonna highlight some other companies that are, eco-friendly forward and very environmentally aware and very environmentally progressive. So I've got
Kick us off, Nani.
I've got a few to highlight for you guys. So shout out, and I am so proud to say that some of our favorite rums are on this list. So we're gonna start off with Montana Rum, that's located in Colorado. I know she had one that I brought her a couple years ago. I was about to say Treasure Chest approved. They're located in Crested Butte. So a little bit about them. They have the highest standards for positive environmental performance. They are certified as B Corp, which is a rating that puts you right at the top. Like, it's something that you have to constantly strive for, constantly produce, and constantly show.
That's impressive.
Yeah, those, energy saving things. And they have 100% wind powered facilities.
That's crazy.
100%. That was the only thing I heard of. Like, as far as, that was the only company I've heard of that was 100%
Yeah, I don't know if any other they use wind power.
And they also have programs to plant trees, install renewable energy tech, and capture methane from landfills. Another company we're going to highlight, another one of our faves, Don Ku. So they focus on preventing pollutants from entering the natural environment. So they prevent gases from being released, keep wastewater from, being released into natural waterways and the oceans. And what they do with those captured gases is they use that to energize their facilities as well, and they use that tech to keep their facilities sustainable.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And they also use anaerobic digesters to clean the water by breaking down the organic waste, and it captures the biogas into powering their distillery, which I thought was pretty damn cool.
That is very cool.
And then another big name, Ron Barcelo. So they are one, I didn't realize this, but in reading the articles, they are one of the largest rum producers in the world. I didn't realize they were that big. In the world,
That's
one
crazy.
of the largest. So, and they've been carbon neutral since 2016, and they were the first rum producer to be certified as carbon neutral, which I thought was really cool. I didn't realize that. So they produce rum using steam, which I thought was cool, because steam is not your average, energy using.
Yeah.
And 90% of its power and energy comes from renewable or green sources, and they capture their own carbon dioxide emissions as well. So that I thought was pretty cool. And they actually also joined the United Nations Climate Neutral Now initiative as well. So they are very progressively forward as far as, being green and
that's
being
very
eco-friendly.
interesting. And I don't know if anybody else knew this, but I didn't know this, and I found out that their rum in the Dominican Republic that actually makes their rum from sugarcane juice.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Most Dominican companies, they use molasses and they use sugarcane juice. I was very surprised.
Learn something new.
Every day.
Even a master sommelier is always learning something new, so never count yourself out.
As I always say, I'm a master sommelier, but I feel like I still don't know shit.
I mean, it's like you can be a doctor for 30 years, but things are always changing, always evolving, so there's always new things to learn. Same with the rum industry, especially because it's constantly growing.
Hey, Rum Spirits. Hey, Sean.
Hi, guys. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Rum Spirits is saying that shots are not okay. That we drink like distinguished people. No, not on this thing.
Not on. We always start with a shot. Yeah, we always start with a shot here.
It's Rum News tradition now.
Right. I think I think we only had like 3 or 4 episodes in the beginning that we didn't start with shots, and then we were like, we need to do this on a regular basis.
For sure.
And then we'll be taking more shots throughout the day. So. Another company, it's not necessarily rum, but it's the Brazilian rum. It's cachaça. If you guys have seen us before, we've mentioned cachaça a few times. It's Brazilian rum. It's Novo Fogo Cachaça, which translates to new fire. So they are a zero waste distillery, organically farmed sugarcane, and their distillery is located in the Atlantic Forest, which UNESCO has designated as the world's 2nd largest biosphere reserve, which I thought was crazy. That's pretty. Sad part though is 90% of that forest has been lost.
What?
90%, yeah. So what Novo Fogo has been doing, they created a rehab center for threatened species of trees, and they call it the Unendangered Forest Project. And what they do is they foster trees in their distillery. They have a nursery in their distillery for plants.
That's so awesome.
I thought that was so freaking cool. Yeah. So what they do is they'll foster the plants there, and then they'll replant them either on the property or their partner properties. And they're also a carbon negative company, which, again, that's what we're talking about today, guys. Yes. And the last one I have that we're going to talk about that is very eco-friendly, green forward, is Candela Mama Juana, which is another DR company. They're exclusively created with renewable energy and energy-saving techniques. They reuse and recycle rainwater, which was the only one I saw. I'm sure other companies do, but it was the only one that, emphasized
I have
that. One. And they work with zero waste distributors, such as Eco Spirits, which we're going to hear about in just a minute. And it cuts down on waste from packaging, and they're also involved in ocean conservation to remove plastic from the ocean. So that was a few companies we just wanted to give a shout out to. I think Nia has a couple as well that are, on the forward trend, upward trend of being eco-friendly, sustainable. We are trying to save the environment. We do want to leave a world for future generations, people. So
yeah, and you want to make sure that your dollars are supporting companies that are supporting our
planet.
Yeah, because there's no plan B when it comes to the planet.
Yeah, and the wildlife. Yeah.
Speaking of eco spirits, yes. This is a really cool thing that I want to deep dive a little bit because it's a very interesting change as far as not so much on the general population, but more on the bar scene.
Yeah.
And like bigger liquor or cocktail places.
Where it's distributed in bulk.
Yeah. So basically what they're doing is Eco Spirits created these totes, and they're made of aluminum, and they're shipping the spirit inside that. There's a couple of bars here in Miami that are already doing it. If you Google Eco Spirits, you'll see it's like a big square tote, and it carries a couple of bottles in it, and it's really interesting because I didn't know this, but in 2020, 689 billion single glass containers were made and were not able to be recycled. I thought all glass could be recycled. All glass apparently cannot be recycled. That's
one thing we learned. It has to have, I think, a specific type of code or something on it that labels it as either recyclable or not.
Yeah, it's crazy. The other thing, just in the spirits and wine sector alone, it produced 70 billion single glass containers that year. So Eco Spirits is trying to create something more eco-friendly, and because it's an aluminum basically box, it's a lot lighter to transport the spirit, as well as they basically refill those containers.
Yeah.
So it's reusable, which is incredible.
And it's a little bit bigger too. So it's like for what would normally be 2 or 3 glass bottles, you can have one of these Eco Spirits containers to have the equivalent of 3 glass bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to talk obviously about Mount Gay. Mount Gay is probably one of my favorite rum brands out there, and they
no surprise if you're a
yes,
recurring
you know my
listener.
collection, right? So if you look at their initiatives, they have 5 pillars, and one is in agriculture and biodiversity. So basically they do sustainable cropping. They do different crops to where like they don't force the land to produce sugarcane. They also have a very big area where they focus on bees.
Oh, that's cool.
To help with pollination, like natural pollination.
If y'all don't know, if bees die,
we're dead.
Human race dies. Like we go extinct very shortly thereafter. Bees are so important to keeping our race alive. Bee extinction equals human extinction. So the fact that they're taking that into account is awesome.
Which is awesome too. They're also focusing on energy being 100% renewable by 2028. Their plan is to eventually use 100%. So they have basically the water that comes from underground, and that's what they use to make their rum. But when they want to use basically like the tails of the rum after it's made and reuse that to create water from the thing that's called vinasse, I guess. That's like what they would typically discard from rum and turn that into water.
That's cool.
And then by 2030, they want to be negative 50% on CO2 emissions, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And another component that I thought was really interesting is that Mount Gay focuses, and this is their last pillar, is on social and societal responsibility. So basically creating a sense of community and giving back to the community where they are and where they produce their rum, which I think is so important.
Yeah.
So they donate a lot of the funds to education or grant to local universities so the local population can go and have education. And then in their whole biodiversity of agriculture, they also plant fruits and vegetables, which are given to the families that work for Mount Gay.
Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. Hi, companies in the U.S., can we get food?
I know, right? It's incredible.
And I love when companies are so forward-thinking, eco-friendly as well, but just they think about all the aspects. You know, it's like, hey, we care about our people. We're going to not just say it, but we're going to show it. And it's like, here's greens, here's produce, here's...
Well, they have a really big initiative to become self-sustaining.
Yeah.
Like, in every sense of the word. Like, they want to feed their people. They want to give their people water. They don't want to... Because a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of Barbadian rum brands... There's such a scarcity of molasses that they have to import molasses, which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's Mount Gay. Huge kudos to them. Absolutely love them. The other rum company that I really enjoy and we're both pretty familiar is with Kapali. Kapali donates $5 per bottle that they sell, as well as they have an initiative called Cocktails for a Cause, which is really cool. it's a competition basically where people come up with really sustainable cocktails and then somebody wins money. It's really cool. It just supports kind of like awareness of eco-friendly things in the bar industry. The other thing they focus is on using 100,000 gallons of rainwater, which is something they capture naturally versus having to force the earth to produce the water, or trying to figure out the water situation. As we know, that's quite scarce in a lot of places. And they're in the rainforest, by the way. They're Copales in Belize. Also, they use the sugarcane fiber and the bagasse to fuel their boilers.
Okay.
That, you know, to distill the rum. And once they have a leftover of that material, they add vinasse, which is like the leftover from the rum. And then they use that to fertilize the crops. So they're really like conscious of everything that goes in.
And everything goes to use.
Yes.
That's cool.
Like the full circle. And something that wasn't mentioned, and that's not mentioned a lot, they have an eco-tourist hotel attached to the distillery.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you want to go and stay, they do some really cool things. It's an all-inclusive hotel where they feed you all day, but they basically feed you from the
land, essentially.
Yeah, the land.
That's cool.
The farm that they have there, which is amazing.
Add it to our list of trips.
I know, right? Next trip, Belize. Let's see. Oh, Rough Spirits was saying that he would like to see a study in the long run of the potential of plastics leaking into the rum. He said Wild Turkey 101 is moving away from plastic bottles because of that. Well, the thing in here, I don't think it's plastic.
No,
it's like
it's like a foil. Yeah,
it's like a foil sack. I don't know, but that's interesting.
Think of like, if you know MREs, like those meals that are used either for camping or survival, or even for
military.
like astronauts and military. Like that packaging, that kind of like metallic foilish packaging, that's kind of what's in here. Yeah. Because it preserves whatever is contained within it, and it doesn't allow for contaminants. So, and this is like a paper biodegradable product. It's not, there's no leaking potential of plastics anywhere. So we're trying to get away from all that.
But it's very interesting. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that about Wild Turkey. I'm actually a fan.
Paul is saying that he's like, totes my goats. I'm 3 hours behind. No, not so much 3 hours behind, Paul. You're good. He's like, the bees are the bee's knees.
Unless he means, is he somewhere else? Maybe he's 3 hours, like, geographically speaking.
Paul, are you in San Diego already?
Are you in the West Coast?
That's interesting. I thought he was going next week. Anyway.
Okay, what's next?
The next one is going to be a rum company that I'm very familiar about their eco-friendly initiatives. I'm not a huge fan of their rum. I think their rum it's good.
It's okay.
But it's nothing that, like, I don't know. I've never bought a single rum of theirs. Sorry. That's just
We've tried lots.
Yeah. So it's Flor de Caña. They are officially carbon neutral. They are fair trade certified. They plant 50,000 trees every year.
That's pretty cool.
100% of their energy is renewable, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Their CO2 emissions are captured and recycled, like Novo Fogo, which is really cool. And this is another company that focuses on bettering the community that they exist in, which is incredible. So since 1958, they've had a hospital on site for their staff.
That's
with
awesome.
Free health care.
Wow.
For their employees and their families.
Something the U.S. could learn about.
I know.
Free health care.
I know, right?
We're not going to talk politics, but I'm just saying. Moving on.
And then education. They focus on giving their employees and their kids education, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, that's really freaking cool.
So that's how we celebrated Earth Day. Let us know in the comments down below if you were familiar with any of these eco-friendly brands, if you support these eco-friendly brands.
Yeah, we just wanted to highlight some of our favorite companies that are moving in the right direction, that are, you know, they are very aware of the world that we live in, the planet we live in. They're aware of the people who live in that planet. It's not just about, you know, let's make good drinks and
the profit. Yeah,
money. No, they actually give a shit about, you know, the community, the people, the planet, you know, that the people live in, because it's like, it's all good and well if you care about the people, and it's all good and well if you care about the planet, but it's like to see those two hand in hand
amazing.
Is a beautiful thing.
It is.
So, moving on, we're going to talk about some news and what's going on in the rum world.
So
what you got?
I don't have a lot, so I'll start because mine's going to be short and sweet. Just wanted to talk about the Women Leading Rum European Conference that just happened in April in Madrid. Really interesting. I am part of the Women Leading in Rum group. They do a lot of workshops and that kind of thing, but this was like their first big event. I was invited to it, but honestly, there's so much going on in April. I just came back from Utah last week, so you know, I gotta stay at home for a little bit. It's a little bit crazy. The next one that's coming up, and I'm super excited. She's got to
stay at home, as she says right before she leaves.
I know, it's a Martinique.
Where she's going to go have all the rums. And we'll hear all about it next month.
Yeah, for sure. The next one that I would love to attend at least once is the Paris Rum Festival. And that one's May 1st through the 3rd. I know we've talked about this before, but it's their 10th year. They do master classes, they do mixology classes, and they have 3,000 square meters of space that is full of rum companies, and not necessarily like the big ones that we see here. It's a lot of smaller companies that are found both in France and Guadeloupe and Réunion and like the French Caribbean islands. They have a lot of stuff like that, stuff that I've never even seen. If you see some of the videos on YouTube, you'll actually see the different companies, which is really cool. That's all I have for actual rum news.
Okay, well, I have a little more. So we just had the Chicago Rum Festival. It was literally just this past weekend on 4/20. It was their 8th annual, and they do it boutique style where it's a little more personalized. It's more, you know, artisanal. So I was actually surprised by some of the facts that I read. So I didn't know this, but Illinois, which Chicago is in, is one of the largest rum consumers in the U.S. market. Did not know this.
Did not know that either.
This was news to me. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then some of the people that were at this rum festival, some of our favorites, Montagna, Blue Chair, Havana was there, Chairman's, Clement, Kirk and Sweeney, Bayou was there. There was a bunch of companies I hadn't heard of. I'm sure you have. I didn't list all of them, but Parse, Bamboo, Stolen, Cihuatan, Lost Spirits, Tiburon, Caliche, I don't know. It's Caliche, Caliche.
Okay.
Donkou, Mount Gay was there, Foursquare, Clement, Rum JM, Plantation/Plantaray. They had it listed as Plantation on the website, but it's Plantaray now.
It's crazy that Mount Gay doesn't come down here to Miami, but they go up there to Chicago.
And that's another thing. It was the same people who produced Miami Rum Congress produced this one, along with like the New York, the LA, a lot of the congresses around the country.
Think last year or this year when we went to Miami Rum Congress, I think that's going to be my last year. Next year I'd like to go to like Chicago or LA or something.
Well, now that I know Chicago or that Illinois is one of the largest rum consumers, I'm like, let's go to freaking Chicago.
I know,
right? What are we doing? And the funny thing, another fun fact that I learned in reading about the Chicago Rum Festival, that rum, before the American Revolution, rum was the most consumed spirit. Didn't realize that. That's why they're calling this like the reawakening, because it went through like the scotch and the whiskey and the phases and beer and this and that. I did not know that, but I don't know what about the American Revolution specifically said, screw rum, forget that. I don't know, maybe it was the end of like piracy.
It was taxation on sugar.
There you go,
That's
I figured you'd know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had that, and of course, Illinois being the most consumed of rum here, USA is also one of the most important countries in the rum industry. No surprise there. Another piece of news I had, Don the Beachcomber has officially opened up its first new location.
Yes! We have to go, we have to go.
It's in Madeira Beach, which is up near St. Petersburg, Clearwater area, Tampa. If you're familiar with the state of Florida, it's northwest of here. We're in southeast, they're northwest. So they just opened up. It's your stereotypical tiki, Polynesian themed food, drinks, etc., etc. They have over 20 different famous cocktails. Don the Beachcomber, if you know them, known for their tiki lifestyle. So that opened. We need to go up there.
And the director of food and beverage is Marie King, and she is a goddess.
Bomb.com.
The goddess of the tiki world. She used to work at Tonga Hut, which is a tiki bar that has been on the West Coast since the 50s and survived till now, which is incredible. And I don't know how they scooped her up here, but the surprising thing is this is the first location of like 5 or 6 that they're gonna open up in Florida, which is insane. So
hopefully there will be one down here.
Yeah, there's gonna be one in Plantation and one in Coral Gables or something like that.
Yeah, that's not far.
So definitely keep an eye out for them.
Better than a 4-hour drive.
Yeah, they're gonna be named differently. Like they're gonna have different, but this one is definitely gonna be Dawn the Beachcomber,
Yes.
and the other ones are gonna be themed tiki-ish, but a little bit different is what I was reading on their website.
That's cool. So that's all I have as far as news. Next will be new releases. What do you got?
I got Oxbow Estate Rum, which is really exciting. I have 2 bottles from Louisiana because I'm on the Louisiana
we
kick
need more
right
alcohol.
now.
We've only had 1 shot so far.
That's right. And the other thing is Oxbow Estate Rum. A lot of these rums from Louisiana, they're mostly single estate because they have a lot of sugar production up there, which is very unique and different from most distilleries in states or even countries. So a lot of these are considered single estate because they're like right across the way and they all use the same sugar cane. So Oxbow, if you like notes of lemon zest, green grapes, and tangerine, that's gonna be a rum for you. As far as this one, thank you Brittany for getting me these bottles, but this one, I did review this. I think you're gonna like this one. It's actually, rums from Louisiana tend to be a little bit on the sweeter side. They call themselves Creole style or French style, but
which I would think would make them a little spicy if you know what I mean. I don't think Creole / French / Cajun. I don't think sweet.
Yeah.
I would think, because I think Cajun spices,
Yeah.
hot, you know, that's what I think of, but that's because I'm usually thinking of their food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm talking more about like their sugar cane. It seems to be like on the sweeter side, but try that one. Tell me what you think. This one has no sugars or additives, and it's distilled from cane sugar and molasses.
I'm not getting anything in particular.
Single
in the
estate.
Notes. It just smells like alcohol. It doesn't even necessarily smell like rum.
See, for me, it smells like vanilla, like really strong vanilla.
I guess, yeah. Like the extract, like when it's in a high concentration.
I didn't even think of I didn't expect that in this rum.
Yeah, the taste and the smell to me don't match, but it's sweet. It tastes sweet. I see what you mean about the vanilla.
Yeah. And it's a lot sweeter than I expected. Like when I heard Creole or French style, I expected like a funkiness,
right? That's why
I don't think sweet. Yeah. But typically these rums from Louisiana tend to be, for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's the varietal of the sugarcane, but they're pretty sweet, which is
Did you find that to be true? Did you ever try a Bayou rum? I know you had bought a bottle there, but you had sent that out to
it's for a friend.
Yeah, but you never actually tried it?
No, I have not, but we should, because I like to kind of try their different marks.
Yeah. And I feel like now they have so many
styles.
different ones.
They do, because remember they got that super crazy tax cut by the local government.
Yep.
In order for them to invest like something ridiculous, like $4 to $5 million into the distillery, which is super exciting for their local economy.
Plus, we just love New Orleans, so
as if you want to try this one.
Yeah, let's do it.
This one is aged in a toasted barrel. It's batch number 1, so this one's a little bit different. It's lightly aged.
That's a clean one. I just put it there.
This one, you tell me what you think. And we were talking a little bit earlier off camera. I was honestly more impressed with this one than with this one, because when last time we tried a
rum,
rum,
this one smells more funky.
This one, I thought being toasted in a barrel, we would get more of the caramel toffee notes, and I didn't get that with this.
No, it smells very funky.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. But yeah, we were discussing having toasted rums.
Because when we went to Revenge and Chris had us try their
toasted and charred. Like they had a few different toasted ones and a few different charred ones, so we could try see the difference.
Was my favorite, and it's
like different levels.
That's
I think
what I was
toasted
expecting.
1 through 3 or something, and then charred 1 through 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Let me know
if you haven't seen that video. She has that video up of when we visited Revenge Rum.
Oh, Rough Spirits is saying, dang, Nia, you beat me to it. It's all about the taxes, yeah. And then what did he say? Oh, we need to try Cherami rum. That's a sweet rum.
Oh, okay. That's not a sweet rum at all. Oh. The knot is behind the heart.
Oh, okay.
And that's from Louisiana Rough Spirits?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like the taste and the smell don't
match.
They don't translate. And what I like the taste better than the smell.
Okay. And for me, I like this one more than this one.
No, I definitely like
this one better.
Yeah, that one better. And it's like now I'm sure most of you know, especially in the alcohol industry, spirits industry, that I think about 80% of your taste is through your nose, which is why when you're sick you can't taste anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I took like an inhale through my nose as I was taking a sip, and it tasted toasted.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if, like, separately I don't taste that.
Okay.
But, like, if I have my nose and I'm, like, taking a sip, I can taste the toastedness.
Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to try that next time. Yeah, what was interesting to me is there was this after taste on the palate.
Mm-hmm. It kind of burns a little. Not like hugging your testicles type of burn, but like in the back of your throat, like at the back of your tongue.
Yeah.
Almost like when you have, and I'm not saying it's a bad alcohol, I'm not saying but you know when you have like that bottom shelf vodka, like that kind of burn?
Yeah.
That's the burn I'm getting a little bit. Not as strong, but like that's what I'm getting. Like it's
like an alcohol burn.
Yeah, it's lingering on the back of my tongue.
Okay. That's interesting.
Reason. But yeah, if my nose is in there, I can smell the woodsiness.
Okay. I didn't get toasted at all or charred or anything.
Yeah.
Or the
it doesn't last very long.
woody.
Like, it doesn't carry
because I think it's only aged I think a year max or 6 months, something like that. No, I don't think it does. Because I remember when they did the review, I was reading all of this, and it's just like a standard spiel, basically.
Yeah, it's I like it more than I thought I would based off of the notes.
Yeah.
But I definitely like the first one better.
Does it taste like it has something on the end? Like there's this like oiliness that I can't pick up.
Maybe that's the burn I'm feeling like on the back of my tongue. Because it's lingering. It's not like passing.
Yeah.
It's probably what it is.
I don't know. That's what I was like. It was throwing me off. I couldn't detect what it was. Oh, he said yes. Cherami is a rum in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's off I-10, he's saying.
Yeah, we were in a pretty big group last time, so we weren't able to do any distillery tours.
We were literally just there for like a couple of days. But
I definitely want to go back because Rum Wonk is doing this huge
And flights for us are so cheap. You can get like a round trip ticket to New Orleans for like $70.
But we went in September, right?
No, March. Remember, it was right after Mardi Gras.
Oh yeah.
And right before
God,
St.
and the
Patty's
weather
Day.
was perfect.
It was gorgeous because I've been
you went
summer
in July,
months.
right?
I went in June. I've been in summer months, and you're melting just the entire time because it's in the south, it's in the Gulf. Yeah, and I mean, if you've ever been to the French Quarter, like Bourbon Street, it is what it is. It smells like piss, vomit, and garbage because that's what it is. Bourbon Street is a bunch of people drinking all day, all night.
But it is so much fun.
It is, and you get nose blind after like the first few hours. You get used to the smell, and then after you drink enough, you don't care anyways.
Oh my God, Rough Spirit says he's gonna be there in 2 weeks. Make sure you go to Latitude 29.
Yeah.
Amazing cocktail.
I know you still talk about the butter one.
Oh my God, yeah, the Pearl Diver, the best Pearl Diver ever at that place. Phil loved the Navy Grog.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. I think we all loved whatever drinks we got. We all got like something different, and we all loved what we had.
Make sure you do a ghost tour that has the bars included. That was really fun because they would tell us ghost stories, and then we would get a drink at each different bar, and it was themed to the ghost of the bar, which was really cool.
Yeah, it's just a fun city. Even if you go for like
a
3 nights,
weekend.
a long weekend, go for like Friday to Monday or something like that. It's just such a fun city, and you hit all the major little spots like Café du Monde for their beignets. You see a couple, you see Madame Lalaury's house, where it was and stuff like that, and you can go to, what's the name of the street?
Make sure you go to the pharmacy. It is amazing.
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Like the apothecary. Oh my god, it was beautiful. It was closed, so we only saw it from the outside.
Yeah. But definitely do a tour
They
of
do
that.
weddings there, which you wouldn't think for like
It's
a haunted
gorgeous.
place, but it's so
gorgeous.
beautiful. It's just a really, really fun time.
The food.
I'll go for the food alone. Forget everything else. That marketplace, that was like that Riverside marketplace that we went to where you guys had the crawfish broils.
Yes.
So good. Oh.
I'll have to send you
you can't go
our
wrong.
list, Marshall.
Yes, you can't go wrong. Marshall, have you been there before, or is this your first time there?
Yeah, it's really cool.
And I recommend New Orleans, see, most people think New Orleans, they think Bourbon Street's out, which is just the French Quarter. It's such a small part of New Orleans.
It is very, very small.
You can walk the whole, like, you almost kind of like, okay, I had 2 days here, like, I've seen and done everything. But New Orleans has, like, it has the art district, and it has, the garden district.
The garden district, which we didn't make it to.
No, yeah, we were only there for a couple days, but if you haven't been, like, I'm curious to know where you're going, if you're staying in the French Quarter. I know that's what it's most famous for, those famous wrought iron balconies, and I just love it.
Oh, the Vampire Cafe, you guys didn't make it, or did you eat there?
No, we went to the Speakeasy
after. Oh my god. Phil and I went to the Vampire Cafe.
Or did we?
It sounds really gimmicky, but it was amazing. The food was incredible. The cocktails were really good.
His wife's from there.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love it there. I almost moved there at one point. I was like, I need to relocate because this is amazing.
I know, right?
Again, just for the food alone. Oh, he stays outside the city. Okay.
That's nice.
So you must be super familiar. But it's just, there's so many like speakeasies. I think you guys went to the Vampire Cafe, which is how you heard about the speakeasy. Yeah. Because I think you went before we arrived. Because remember, you and Phil got there earlier in the day than we did. So they went to the Vampire Cafe, and then they were like, oh, go to this speakeasy. This is like the code word. You have to go through the back.
It's like vampire themed. So all their cocktails have absinthe in it, which to me, it doesn't do absolute shit. Yeah. I don't know why people rant and rave about.
But I hear that the absinthe that's like marketed in bars and sold over the counter and stuff like that is not the same absinthe that is known to be the like hallucinogen. Yeah, it's like, it's not the same as if you were to go to like Amsterdam and get absinthe off the menu. So I think that's part. Now it's more like a mincy, almost like a liqueur. I feel like it's not what it's supposed to be.
That's interesting.
Where have y'all ever seen the movie? I want to say Eurotrip. I think is where it's a group of college kids. Yeah. They go to somewhere.
I think I've seen it, but I don't remember. But go ahead.
It's so old, from like early 2000s, and they unknowingly order absinthe, and they're literally heating it up like it's like a thing of heroin, like heating it up like on the spoon and everything.
Yeah, I did that whole thing because my friend Janice gave me a bottle with the spoon and the little cubes of sugar.
What they sell now is not the absinthe of like days of yore or whatever the hell it is. Like, days of yore. All you need is like the one shot and you're like out. But yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't know, but yeah, absinthe that I've had around isn't the same. It doesn't do anything. I'm like, what's the big deal? Yeah, but that's why it's not the same thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but love New Orleans. Okay, let me finish this and we can keep talking.
I do have one more thing that I wanted to bring up on our little.
Oh, that just went up my nose.
Your nose is thirsty.
Continue, literally.
On our little segment that we like to call Rumonomics, there was a real interesting article on the Rum Labs website about what a great opportunity companies that are in production or distribution of rum have this year. And they talked about two really interesting things. Is like they gave pointers to new distilleries coming up. And they're asking people to focus on history and authenticity, basically building a strong brand before they go on the market. They are recommending that they create an emotional connection with their consumer. Yeah. Because people nowadays want transparency. They want to feel in touch with the company, with different initiatives.
Which I think is, so there's obviously two sectors when it comes to growing industry, like rum as an industry, is there's obviously the people who are established. They've been around for hundreds of years, decades.
Yeah.
And then there's the people that they're like, oh, rum is something big. Like, let's hop on this wagon and, you know, let's see what we can do with it. The advantage that I think those new guys have is that they can have that kind of flexibility and that adaptability and versatility of being able to use like things like marketing with social media, and they can cater to the masses.
Yeah, exactly.
They can see what's trendy now and like cater their bottles, and like being eco-friendly right now is super trendy. It's like a fad, even though it shouldn't be a fad.
Yeah.
It should be something that everybody's very consciously aware of.
Exactly.
But so I think they have that advantage where they can use things like, you know, like I said, social media, where some of the older companies are like, you either know about us or you don't. Like, we're not going to bother.
Well, and the other thing is, like, they tend to be under big conglomerates, so they're like, we have to report this and we have to bring it up.
Right, they're under the umbrellas where, like, they have to answer to somebody and be accountable.
Before they put anything out, which absolutely sucks. The other thing they talked about, which you just talked about too, is innovation and sustainability, exploring different types of barrels for aging, and then marketing digitally is very, very important for new distillers.
Especially, like I said, social media. If you're not on social media, unless you're an established company already, like, you're not going to go anywhere.
Well, even if you are, everybody has, like, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
TikTok, not so much, but...
Even I'm not on TikTok. She is. I'm not. Anytime I need something, I'm like... She's sending me TikTok stuff all the time, and I'm like... I don't have it, so I get to see the video, and then if I want to, like, rewatch it, I have to go out and go back in. I'm not on TikTok.
Mike, thanks for tuning in. No worries.
Hi, thanks for joining.
And then the other thing I wanted to bring up that they brought up on this article was the non-producing brands. So, like, independent bottlers, apparently they have a very big opportunity. That's why we're seeing such a big rise in independent bottlers. But they have a very unique segment of the rum.
Yeah, because they have the opportunity to be able to facilitate to a wider variety of masses.
Yes, and the only thing, like, the things that they're recommending is that they have a good relationship with the distilleries, that they curate very specific things, that they're very transparent with what they're providing, which that one, I think it's a little bit tricky because a lot of independent bottlers, my understanding is when they buy juice from some of the larger companies, they don't allow them to use their name brands, which is interesting.
Yeah. And that's one thing that, just for the layman, the novice, like even myself coming into this years ago, with her being a little more of the enthusiast at the time before she was a sommelier, and I was just kind of like, I like to drink, let's go, is that I didn't even realize that non-producing and independent bottlers, those are two separate things, by the way, was a thing, where it's like independent bottlers or non-producing, they can just kind of take blends from different places or take rums from different places, maybe even make their own blends and bottle it. Or if you're an independent bottler, you can take rums from certain places and market them as whatever it is. And I didn't even realize and they have no hand in the production of the actual rum itself, unless they're a non-producing, where like they're taking different ones and they're blending it. That's the extent of their production. Their hands in the production of it. So I thought that was very interesting, because I didn't even realize that was a thing. Like, I figured, like, oh, I go to the store, I buy Demon rum, it's Demon Distillery, they make the rum, this is, you know what I mean? I didn't even know that non-producing people and then independent bottlers was a thing until I delved a little deeper into this with her. And it was just like, oh, that's something that maybe the layman doesn't know. They go to the store, they buy a bottle, and that's it. Like, they think that this is the name of the people who made the rum. And it can be so much more, intricate than that, and so much more complex.
And that's why I love some of the, like, we're big fans of Down Island, for example, because they're transparent about everything.
Yeah.
On the label, you see everything. What you buy is what you see on the label.
And it's good rum.
Like, everything I tried really from him, it's so good. The prices are really accessible, too.
Yes.
It's nothing ridiculous, because sometimes...
Unless you're getting one of their, like, exclusive, limited editions.
Yeah, like the FRS release that was, like, $275, and I was like, no, that's too much for me.
Yeah. And she has the hookup, too.
Yeah.
She knows them, so it's like... It's really good rum. And the thing is that if you're an independent bottler, that you curate these good relationships with the distillers and the people that you're working with.
Yeah.
you're gonna know about your product and you're gonna be able to put out good products.
How it should be. The only thing I do have to highlight on independent bottlers specifically, I don't know if you've noticed, but Foursquare constantly, if they give any company their juice, they disclose that it's a Foursquare rum. In their, even in blends, you'll see Foursquare rum. Which
they're
is
like,
amazing.
our name is on it, because I think, and it speaks to Foursquare, because they're like, we're so confident about our product. We want
that
our
even
name
if
on
you
it.
blend it with shit, it'll
we want
be
our
fine.
we want our name on it. Like, you could literally blend it with urine, and it's like, we want our name on it because we know it's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's
Obviously,
crazy to me. That's definitely crazy to me. Another thing that I thought was interesting within the non-production brands is that they talked about differentiating themselves from the distiller in different ways. So like finishing in different casks or embracing technology was huge too. Which I thought was really interesting too.
And I thought it was cool. I was, we were talking about it and reading about it. Is that one thing that a lot of these non-production and independent bottlers have, again, as an advantage over the established people, is that they're able to be more artisanal and more unique with their products.
And people are pushing for that. They're pushing for craft spirit.
Exactly. Where it's like, whereas we were talking about catering to the masses with marketing and design and things like that, you can cater to the masses with flavorings, cask finishes, aging. Like, if you have a specific niche of people that want something specific, you can do that. Whereas I feel like if you're an established brand, you're just kind of like, we've been around for 200 years. Like, what we are doing works. We're gonna stick with what works.
And like, for example, what's a little bit frustrating to me, like for example, Plantaray. Every time I go to their master classes, they'll give you their marks broken down, and you're like, I just want this mark bottled. At like 60 proof. Like at 60%. This is what I want to buy a bottle of, and they're like, well, this is one of our marks in this blend. Then no, I want this, but like, and they're like, they don't
this
think of
in
that.
A larger 150,
which is crazy, because to me a lot of their individual marks, and I get that a lot of the more established brands have to do that just for sustainability too, because it'd be so expensive to just have that one mark and that blended. But I don't know, eventually I would hope that they either do cask strength, which Mount Gay did do with the Black Barrel that we tried. But that was only available for sale at the distillery, and it sold out like that.
I was gonna say, and by the time we had it, they already had no bottles available. So.
At the distillery, so.
So, that was so good.
Because Black Barrel's already amazing.
And I mean,
and then it was like cask strength, so.
Cask strength, black, that was so good. But again, if you can get your hands on a bottle of Black Barrel, you're winning. It's still really, really good. We had daiquiris, still till this day the best daiquiris I've had, made with Mount Gay Black Barrel. So
we need to go back to Sweet Liberty. That was so good. That was such a great surprise.
It was such a fun time.
And speaking of eco-friendly stuff, we actually volunteered that day to go clean up the beach with Fort Ocean, because Mount Gay and Fort Ocean partner to help clean the ocean. And there was an event that they were doing. Which,
it was awesome. And, drinks were included, food was included, and like I said, best daiquiris I've ever had. You didn't have to have a daiquiri, but it was like their cocktail of the hour or whatever.
And you had to volunteer for like a couple of hours, and that was it.
Unfortunately, and I will say unfortunately, because I could have stayed out there all day.
It started raining.
It started raining, so we had to cut it short. I feel like we were only out there for like maybe 45 minutes, if that, out in the actual cleanup. We even discussed, we never got around to it, but I would still love to do that, like buying the stuff to be able to. We live by the beach, you guys. Like, I would love to be able to even just every day, like for a couple hours, maybe in the early morning before, because it's already getting really hot down here. Before it gets too hot, like sunrise or something, and just like do a little bit of something.
Down.
Like we can buy this stuff online, I'm sure. But back to this, so we were talking a little bit about the advantages of the non-producers and the independent bottlers, but we will say that advantages that the established people have, they already have the connections, they already have those relationships, they already have that group of clientele.
They don't have to fight so much to like
advertise.
But I think in that sense it's good, but they also, I feel like, have to remain
relevant,
and be flexible with their innovation, because even the most classic brands have to come out with something different.
Yeah. Unless you're like really one of those like, it's almost like have you ever seen that thing where Lamborghini was like, oh, how come you never see a commercial for Lamborghini? It's like, because the people that we cater to aren't sitting at home watching TV, kind of a thing.
No, I haven't.
You've never seen? Yeah, Lamborghini said that, and it's like,
oh,
okay, no Lamborghini with the digs, but it's true, because if you can afford a Lamborghini, you're busting ass. You know what I mean. You're busting
sitting at home on the couch, traveling the world.
Either way, you're not sitting on the home on the couch watching television, looking for commercials. You know.
That's so funny.
But I feel like a lot of the especially the older, more high-end rums, I think that's kind of their mentality, because it's like that kind of old world, like old money kind of a mentality, where it's like, we're good, we know we're good, people that know we're good are going to spend the money regardless. You know what I mean? That kind of mentality. Or even maybe it's not even like necessarily like a high end, like Bacardi's been around for so long that it doesn't matter if you just turned 21 or you just started drinking, you know what Bacardi is. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you've heard of Bacardi.
For sure.
They're one of the largest names in the rum industry, in the alcohol industry. They're not even just rum. So it's just one of those things where it's like, you don't really need to pay for the advertising and the marketing, because your name is already well known enough, and you have those relationships with the distillers and the distributors.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have that advantage, but I feel like it's almost more advantageous to be a non-producer or a new company or an independent bottler or somebody that's new, up and coming. Like, yes, you're gonna hit those struggles, but
well, I like the concept of having more control onto what I'm putting out.
Yeah,
when you're a smaller brand than others.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like when you have more control, regardless of the red tape and the hierarchy of a company. Yeah. You can really be so hands-on with the flavoring, the cane, the casks, the barrels, like whatever you're doing, you can be so hands-on. Yeah. And you know that the product, like, remember with Indian River when we were at the Treasure Coast Festival, the small craft spirits, what was it, last week? No, 2 weeks ago. Whenever it was, a couple weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Indian River, we tried a rum, and then we were like, oh my God, this is so good. And then the guy came out, the blender came out, the owner, the master blender, he's like, I didn't like it. We were like, what? We were like, this is so good. He's like, it's not what I wanted. I'm going to try something else. And we were like, but this is so good. So it's like, when you're small, you have that kind of flexibility to be able to be like, I didn't like it. Like, I want it somewhat. Like, and I feel like when you are such a large umbrella, you have to cater to what the corp want, what the big guys in suits want, and what's going to make you money. So if it's a flavor palette that's going to, cater to a larger group of people, but maybe it's not the best thing, but it's like, oh, it's super sweet, but it's going to be better because that's what the young people want. Yeah. It's the cocktails.
Or the majority or whatever.
Right, it's what the bars are going to want to buy. And then you're like, your hands are kind of tied in that situation when you're under those big corporate umbrellas. So when you're smaller, you kind of have that, flexibility to be able to.
So basically, we're saying we need to come back to Indian Creek, right? And see how funky his rums get.
I know, because he was like, no, I didn't like it. And we were like, this is so good though. And he was like, I didn't like it. So what the heck did you want? I think he said he wanted something more funky, something with higher ester. So he's going to kind of play around with it a little bit. And I think he's like, I don't know if I'll bottle it, but I want to see, I'm going to play around with it. So that'll be very interesting.
I was even picking his brain about the yeast, because I was like, oh, if you're gonna get super funky, you're gonna start getting some funky yeast, I would imagine. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out what I'm getting, but I'm definitely, my next batch of yeast is gonna be like some Jamaican style, like Caribbean style.
He loves the funk. He wanted it more funky. Yes, Marshall, we are talking about independent bottlers and non-producing companies at the moment.
Just a little bit of rumonomics.
Rumonomics. We're, just hitting on different opportunities that different companies have. If you have anything to contribute on the topic, we are here to listen. We also just touched briefly on Treasure Coast Small Craft Spirits Festival that we went to a couple weekends ago, and, talking about how they are so...
I have one more or two more things for you to try. Huge shout out to Rum Doctor on IG. He gave us some samples of. Nani has not tried.
And I still have new releases too, like shit.
Oh shoot, really? Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to do? We can do that, and then I'll hop back. Well, actually, let me just real quick. I'm just gonna mention some new releases that are coming out So we had El Dorado new release. I don't know if you had, I think you might have mentioned yours. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I did.
Anyways,
Oxbow.
we got a little carried away with Rumonomics, but that's fine. El Dorado High Ester Blend. It's a combination of their exclusive, never before released high ester rum mixed with their LBI mark, which is La Bonne Intention, which for you who don't speak French, the good intention. And it's their first of 9 planned expressions, showcasing a range of different rum styles. And it was their high ester blend, and both their high ester and their La Bonne were distilled in 2012, but they're just releasing it now.
Wow.
And that's
exciting. Wait, that's El Dorado?
El Dorado. High ester
and we
blend.
tried the high ester at Miami Rum Congress. It was amazing.
And from what we know, from what I read a little earlier tonight, Hukilau is going to be having some high ester blend releases from El Dorado. Some cocktails are going to be potentially flowing, so we may need to go there and try it out.
We'll see.
We'll see. Another one, speaking of Hukilau, someone we ran into last year's Hukilau, Spike.
So much fun.
From Breezeway Cocktail Hour on YouTube. We ran into him. He's actually come out with Hamilton. They created a special blend
for him,
specifically for him and his channel and his show,
which is really cool.
Like, congrats, Spike. That is
Spike.
Freaking awesome.
So excited for you.
That is amazing. So it was blended and crafted specifically for him and his show. So it was meant to, and if you're not familiar with Spike's Breezeway Cocktail Hour, it's tiki style cocktails, etc., etc., etc. So,
and a lot of history. He touches on a lot of cool history about the cocktails.
Yeah.
And he'll try to replicate a lot of the original recipes from like the old school tiki bars.
Yeah.
Which is super cool. And he's on the West Coast, so he tours a lot of the West Coast, like
there's a lot of like tiki out that way,
which is amazing.
Surprisingly, Central Florida has a lot of tiki too,
which
is like not on the beach, so it's kind of funny that that's where they're
landlocked, but you're tiki.
Yeah, exactly. And so this particular rum, it's blended in a Jamaican pot. Well, it is a blend of Jamaican pot still and their white stash. It's 42.5 ABV. Or ABV. I promise y'all I'm not drunk. I've had like, what, 3 drinks?
1, 2, 3, 4.
What did I lost count?
Whatever.
So maybe I am. 42.5 ABV. It's a straw color, which I'm guessing is like the color of like hay.
Yeah.
Ish. The notes
I've seen that it kind of looks like a coconut rum. You know how like kind of hazy?
Yeah. Note is ripe banana, and on the palate it's tropical fruit, which makes sense. So it says it's perfect for daiquiris, long drinks, etc., for the home bar.
Yum!
So
we're gonna have to try this for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get our hands on a little bit of that. So Spike, if you're gonna be at Hukilau this year, we'll be on the lookout. Maybe bring some of that if it's already out and about. One that I'm excited about how the bottle looks. I've never had an Indian rum before, so I don't know if I'm excited about the flavor.
Yeah.
But it looks so freaking cool. So if you haven't checked it out, it's from Rampur. I'm butchering the name. It's either Rampur or Rampur. It's Rampur. I'm no
from
good
India,
with,
right?
Yeah, I'm no good with Indian pronunciations. So it's called the Kohinoor, 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 Reserve Indian Dark Rum, which is actually inspired by the Kohinoor diamond, which is on the crown jewel, like the Great Britain's queen crown.
Wow.
Like the center. And so like if you look at it from like a bird's eye view, it's meant to look like that diamond. That's why it like, and then
the bottle is gorgeous.
It's almost got like this like liquidy blood, like red to the actual rum itself. It looks beautiful. It's like an angled cut.
Did you ever get to find out how much the price was?
No, it did not tell me. It just said it's 43% ABV. This actually just got released up the street from us in Palm Beach this past weekend on the 14th of April.
We missed it.
So they have what's called IAA DFS Summit. It's the International Duty Free Summit. So as we were discussing before, one of the largest products that comes out of duty-free shops and airports and stuff is alcohol.
Yeah, of course.
So we were like, maybe that's something we need to look into to go next year, whenever.
That'd be so awesome.
Like, I'm sure so many different alcohols are like released at that point. So this actually got released at that time, and it's going to be rolling into, excuse me, it's going to be rolling in this coming months into the global market, US, Europe, India, Asia, etc. Small batch distillation, only fresh cane juice, matured in American oak barrels, which were previously used for Indian single malt, and then it's further aged in cognac XO, and then finished in vermouth casks.
Has anybody tried single malt Indian whiskeys?
I haven't tried anything Indian, so I'd be curious to hear about that.
I've tried their rums. Let me tell you, very impressive.
Okay.
Yeah, so very good.
Y'all look this
I've
up.
tried Kamikara, and it was delicious. They're 12-year, not they're 9-year.
Looks alone, I'm like, it looks freaking beautiful.
Yeah, the bottle kind of looks like Papa Andres, like the Brugal, like the
it's like
limited
angled, sleek. It's a beautiful looking bottle.
Yeah, it looks like a gem.
Kohinoor
So cool.
Reserve Indian Dark Rum. It looks beautiful. One of the other new releases, Equiano, which we actually talked about last year's Earth Day. We made an Equiano-based cocktail that they were doing specifically for Earth Day as part of their Earth Day initiative. They were doing something similar to Kapali, where part of their proceeds were going to, into preservation and all of that good eco-friendly stuff.
Very cool.
So Equiano, you're gonna love this. Equiano's launching their first vintage rum. Cool. It's 11-year-old blend of Grays and Foursquare rums. Again, Foursquare. Their name is all over their stuff. So, it's called Omanira. Again, probably butchering the shit out of that. Ominira, Omanira. It means freedom in Yoruba, which is a tribute to the brand's namesake, Olaudah Equiano.
Yeah.
Aged 11 years as a nod to how old he was when he was kidnapped and enslaved, at 52% ABV as a nod to how old he was to which he lived.
That's amazing.
How thoughtful and like there's so much thought that goes into that.
The global rum ambassadors
Freaking
behind Equiano.
Crazy. So aged 11 years because that's how old Equiano was when he was kidnapped and enslaved, at 52% ABV as a nod to how old he was when he passed. Like, y'all, come on now. I read that, I was like, oh, tear.
I have to get the bottle.
Right? So that's matured in bourbon and cognac casks.
And I looked at the bottle, and it looked like a really light rum.
Yeah.
Or was it just me?
No, it did.
And I love
which is surprising for 11 years.
And I love his light rum versus the other rum is good. It's good, but I like the floral and perfumey notes from the lighter rum that he puts out.
So it's aged in bourbon and cognac casks and finished in sherry. Now, I didn't see if it was going to be released here in the US. It didn't state that, unfortunately. It's going to retail for about 180 pounds, which you're looking at over $200. Yeah, $200 US if it
might be
released here. It's like, let me sample it first before we drop that kind of money. And it's
send us a sample, Ian.
Right.
That'd be so awesome.
And they're actually going to be part of a series. It's a legacy blend series that they're going to be releasing. So it's the first one. And this one only has 3,000 bottles, and you can only order it through their website.
Wow.
So pricey. And one last
one.
Yes, one more new release. And this is another international one. Bundaberg in Australia.
Bundy.
She referred to it as Bundy. I was like, okay, you're on a first name, like nickname basis for this distillery. Okay.
We are.
So again, it's an Australian distiller. They're preparing for their winter because, as you know, they're at the bottom of the hemisphere. And so their seasons are backwards. We're about to go into summer. They're going into winter. So they've released a limited edition of toasted Lamington rum. Perfect for a campfire, as they say. And it's literally like a picture like those.
A s'more?
It's not even they actually did s'mores last winter. Oh. So it's like, those square marshmallows?
Crackers?
No, it's just a square marshmallow.
Okay.
And it's like, it looks like it's like covered in chocolate and coconut. That's what it is. If you've never had a marshmallow that had toasted coconut.
I have not.
What? I'm going to find you some and we're going to bring it. Up north, you find them all the time. I haven't seen any down here. I guess maybe because down here is almost too hot for fires.
Nobody does s'mores here.
Campfires are not a thing down here. It's always too hot. But up north, you can go to like the grocery store and you can find a bag of
That's so interesting.
Of marshmallows
I'd love to try that.
Covered in toasted coconut. If marshmallows are your thing. So this one,
everything is my thing.
They say
that is the problem.
They say is perfect for a campfire. The flavor is chocolate, coconut, and vanilla, kissed by campfire flames and toasted.
Ooh.
Bottle will retail, again, it's going to be released
really
nationally as of today in Australia. Retails for about $55 at 37% ABV. So it's almost like bordering on a liqueur, so it's going to be on the sweeter side. But if you're by a campfire, you pour that shit over ice or like mix it in with a little hot cocoa.
Sold.
So freaking
And by
good.
the way, I get offended when people call Bundaberg Captain Morgan. It is not as sweet as Captain Morgan. I had Bundaberg in
First off,
Australia.
I hate Captain Morgan's.
I had Bundaberg in Australia, like the regular basic, because I wanted to compare. Obviously, I couldn't go to Australia and try it. So I tried a couple, and
she's not a huge Captain. She'll get Captains only if it's like we're at like a bar that has nothing
and
else.
like I absolutely have to drink, and there's
nothing else. And it's Captains and Coke with 2 limes.
I honestly, and lately what I've been doing, I've actually been getting whiskey or bourbon if they don't have a
good rum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus doing Captain or Sailor.
This was pre-Remolier days. This was pre my Rum Diaries channel. This was pre.
When we were still going out and partying.
Yeah, this is in our younger years.
So super excited. We're gonna close out with you trying your very first Thai rums. So these were some samples gifted to me by the Rum Doctor when I went down to Australia. This is Chalang Bay, which is out in Thailand.
I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
Marshall's asking if we're gonna do live on IG.
No,
after.
we're gonna keep it short and sweet.
Today.
We have a crazy week.
It's Monday. Who knows? Maybe for like a few minutes. Maybe not our usual 2 hours. I don't know. No promises. You'll know if we do. You'll know if we do.
So the first one is gonna be 56.1%. As you can see, it's a little bit on the lighter side, but really excited for you to try because maybe 2 or 3 rum news ago, we talked about how big the Asian market was becoming. It was like the fastest growing.
Yeah, the South. Yeah,
do you want a clean one?
No, it's okay. Because this one I used Demon Rum. So
you can also like put a little bit of water in there and
true. With the whistle,
clean that up. But the cool thing about all of these are all barrel picks by the Rum Shark. Yes, Rum Shark. If you ever see they're out of Czech Republic, they pick, honestly, everything we tried of theirs was amazing.
I won't take the last of this.
No, just kill it if you want.
You sure?
Yeah, kill it.
Well, I wish I could have just done it from the bottom.
Okay, well,
too late now.
We're classy people, as Marshall said.
No, he said he's classy people. We already established that we take shots and stuff.
Yeah.
So apparently that we're not classy. Sean, what's supposed to make a killer daiquiri?
The
Black Barrel.
The Spike's Breezeway new bottle with Hamilton.
Yeah, that was one of the things it said. It was like catering to kind of the daiquiris and those kinds of drinks.
Or like tiki drinks, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And the great thing about Hamilton, his bottles are not crazy expensive, and he has some tremendous rums. It's gonna be a little bit hot.
As you tell me as I'm feeling like, whew, which just reminded me of Down Island when we went to the festival.
Yeah.
There was Mike with Down Island.
Jamaican?
So they have their normal Jamaican rum, and this was a specific Jamaican rum. I don't remember.
With higher esters, yeah.
He was like, it's a little hot.
It's the Hamden.
I might as well have been drinking liquid pepper hot. It was very hot. I was like,
but it was so good.
And it was literally the first rum of the day. Like, we had just arrived. It was the first booth that we stopped at. And it was the first rum I had. And I was like, whoo! And I had like one of those neck fans on, immediately turned it on. I was like, that's very hot.
I'm done. I'm cooked.
Yeah, and like I noticed it, as I drink it, she's like, oh, it's hot, by the way. It is. It's got a heat to it for sure.
But what did you think of the nose? There's like, I swear there's a kind of like what I would call like a terroir in there, like an earthiness to it, like a different, it has a different nose.
I can note the terroir, but I almost got, I don't want to say fruity, because it's not fruity, but I'm sensing sweet on the sweeter.
Yeah.
Like almost if you were to take like just because this is the first fruit I'm thinking of like on the grill, not that it's that note specifically or that sweet, but you know when you grill a pineapple?
Yeah.
Like a charred or a toasted or a grilled fruit. You get that kind of like smokiness with the sweetness
Yeah.
a little bit, but it's not any particular fruit, and it's not overly sweet. It's just a little hint of something sweet.
And I'm starting to realize that to me, Thai rums have a specific note.
And now that I've had a few sips, it's heat. It's all just...
Your chesticles are burning.
It's like it's making its way down.
It's like hot, but at the same time, it's
not bad.
It's good. It's like a good heat.
There was something I drank that it like burned on the back of the tongue, and it just kind of lingered.
And it
was
not a good heat.
It wasn't like a
smooth. Yeah.
It was like I'm here to watch you die. Like drink acid.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way. That was a good rum, but I'm just being dramatic because that's my nature.
Oh, Sean is saying that he only has Hamilton's Pot Still Gold. Yeah, I have the FRS one, and I think I've had something else, but I don't remember right now what it is. And this one is going to be even hotter. Do you want to try this one too, or no? Don't feel bad if you don't want to. Because it's hot.
Tiniest little bit. Whew.
But just so you can taste the difference. So this one was 56, this one is 59. 58.9.
Oh, that just went down the wrong tube. I probably should have started with that one.
The hotter one?
Mm-hmm.
No, because it would have blown your palate out. You always start with the low
I know
to
that's
high.
how you're supposed to go.
But you're
that's
like,
not how I operate. I'm like, just give it to me. And then we work our way down. All right.
Oh my god.
Y'all, I'm scared.
Tell me about the nose. Does it nose the same? Here.
It's similar, but not the same.
See, this one smells more hot to me.
Yeah, it's almost like you took that one and like lit a fire under it.
Yeah, it's really smoky.
Mhm. It's like
smoky and briny.
It's like the first one had a baby with mezcal. And if y'all don't know, mezcal is very, very smoky. I know we have rum people here. Mezcal is very smoky. Speaking of mezcal, we need some more soto. Did you finish yours?
No.
Well, I don't know. It wasn't a big bottle.
But I haven't been drinking it. I don't even know how to drink it. Maybe we should make some palomas one day.
I'm trying to remember how it was in the drink that we had when we first heard of it. We need to look up their menu. No Man's menu, because that's where we had it.
But I think it was a paloma.
You think so? With grapefruit?
So good. Yeah. I think. I don't know. We'll look it up.
I mean, I feel like it would be good even for like maybe a spicy margarita.
Yeah. For my birthday, we went to this Mexican restaurant, and all I had all night was margaritas, like spicy margaritas with mezcal. It was so good.
Yeah, I had a spicy margarita too. That's not as hot as I thought it was gonna be. Like, I can taste that it's supposed to be hotter.
Yeah.
Maybe I just took a small sip.
You also like, once you get...
It tastes like liquid smoke.
Does it?
I mean, I've never drank liquid smoke, but this is what I picture it would taste like.
I love that. It smells so good. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm always trying to push you to try new rums, so I'm glad you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, like, finger the... I caught my words.
I was like, who are you trying to finger?
Like, put my finger on.
Yeah.
Would
you say it's something like you've never tried before?
I wouldn't say never tried before,
Okay.
but off the top of my head, I can't, like, compare it to anything else. But I'm trying to put my finger on what that, like, lingering
taste is?
Aftertaste is.
Okay.
Because it's like liquid smoke, but a little something just behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like somebody's giving a little, I'm here.
I wonder what it is.
But I can't think of what it is. And it's not like a pepper or anything spicy or, hot.
Is it sweet?
I don't know. Maybe it's like woodsy.
To me, this one smelled briny.
Maybe it's
like olives,
maybe it's woodsy. Oh, I hate olives, so let's not go there. I don't know. Like, on the nose, super smoky.
This one's kind of reminding me of Foursquare.
Yeah. I can't put my finger on. I can't find my phone. Almost like, not brininess. And I hate...
Like a saltiness.
I was about to say, like, I hate pickle juice. But almost like... I hate pickles, I should say. But, like, almost like, you know when you have, like, a Jameson's and then you do a pickle back?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Where you get that kind of saltiness aftertaste.
Yeah. Like a little bit sour.
Yeah, but not like to the
like
sour.
Like acidic.
Yeah. But it's good. It works. Because, again, I hate pickles. Don't like pickles. But I'll do a shot of pickle juice.
Ugh. When I finish the pickle jar, I just drink that right out of the... So good.
Surprisingly, though, not last time I did my hair, but a couple times ago, when I was at the salon, I had, like, a headache, and Annie was like, you know what's really good for headaches is pickle juice. She's like, I get chronic headaches, so she's like, so I always have... She's like, do you want some pickle juice? And I was like, I guess, like, if whatever, like, if something's gonna help.
Yeah.
And she gave me, like, a small cup of pickle juice, and it helped. So...
Wow.
I don't know what it is about the pickle. Maybe it's a saltiness. I don't know. Maybe, like, it absorbs the water. I don't know. The inflammation. I don't know the science behind it. But it worked. And it wasn't bad. I don't like the taste of pickles. Like, I don't like biting into pickles if it's a burger. I always get my pickles out. The juice was okay. It wasn't like... I'm not going to go order it at a fucking restaurant. I'm not about to go buy a pickle jar of juice. But it wasn't bad. It was tolerable.
So that's kind of reminding you of
a little bit. But, like, again, it's like the alcohol, the spirit taste with the saltiness. And so it's funny that you said, like, the saltiness. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for everybody tuning in. We are so happy to be back. Rum News.
Yes.
The next Rum News is going to be May 14th. Yes, not the end of the month typically, not the last Tuesday of the month.
We're going to have a special guest host.
We're going to have a special guest co-host.
A tad late, Jason. You're coming in for the closing remarks. Watching basketball, I see where your priorities lie, sir. Next time we're in St. Augustine, we're just going to be like, oh, we were watching basketball. Sorry. We were, looking at the river. It's fine. No, but thank you so much for joining. It's always a pleasure to have you guys.
If you like Rum News, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, a little hearts. Comments down below if you are going to buy any of the bottles that we tried today, especially the eco-friendly companies. Go support them.
Or if you've had any that maybe we didn't mention today, but that are very, eco-forward,
sustainable, all that good stuff.
Yeah, that are very green. Let us know. We're always happy to try, especially if they're local. If they're local, even better, because we're always trying to support local, small, people who are trying to up and come and make a name for themselves. That was the whole point of going to the festival a couple weeks ago. It was all smaller, local companies, all in Florida.
And all craft.
We may or may not be doing an episode at one of those companies soon.
Yes, we got invited, so stay tuned to go.
When was it, like July-ish?
Yes, July.
Be on the lookout, Bolo. We've got a lot of exciting things happening. So we got May 14th with a guest. I don't know, do we want to say who?
No.
Okay, we don't want to say who. May 14th, she's got the Tampa Bay Rum
Experience, the 18th of May.
The following weekend. And then June is Huki Lao. Hopefully we'll be able to make it this year.
Someone's birthday.
It's my birthday. And then July we're going to be doing an episode at this local, and by local we mean in Florida. It's about 3 hours from us.
Yeah.
We'll be doing an episode from the local distiller.
Super excited.
We're very excited. We met with them. If you watched our episode on the Treasure Coast Small Craft Spirit, it's one of those people. So it was the
people that tried the people that talked the most in that video.
It was the longest little.
Yeah. So go ahead and check out that video.
There's a lot of new and exciting things happening. There's lots to come. We're only in April, you guys, about to go into May, so we're not even halfway through the year yet, and
a lot more coming.
She's about to go to Martinique, and they're going to 1 million distilleries.
So follow me on IG because I'll be posting like crazy there too.
You'll see lots of videos. You'll see lots of firsthand distillery tours. I'm sure. I don't even need to ask and turn and get confirmation. I'm sure there will be lots of
5 days,
distilleries.
2 distilleries a day. So
that's 10,
suit up, liver.
10.
Suit up, liver.
10 distilleries, you guys, in a matter less than a week. That's a lot.
I'm gonna need a vacation.
She needs a vacation from the vacation.
Literally.
That's a lot of walking. You're gonna get your steps in. You better wear a Fitbit or your smartwatch or whatever you got.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But thank you guys. I was surprised. This was actually a short episode for us. I mean, I know why, but I'm not telling.
We're doing short and sweet, but
I'm not telling why.
Thank you so much,
I
everybody.
talked really fast. I think because I was like, oh my god, there's so much news. I need to talk faster. So I feel like I talked a lot faster than I normally would.
No, you did.
Y'all tell me.
Yeah, tell her down below in the comments. But it was great to see everybody.
Thank you. We didn't see them though. They saw us. It was great interacting with you guys.
Thank you, everybody that was in the chats.
Yes, thank you guys so much. We always appreciate your contributions.
Cheers.
We love interacting with you guys. Like, you guys are what makes this possible. You guys are the reason we do this. So,
literally.
It's just always so much fun, like, interacting with you guys in the chat and talking to you guys and knowing what you guys' opinions are on maybe different rums or whatever is going on in rum news, or if you just want to talk, like, shoot the shit and like talk about nothing.
For
like,
sure.
We're here about it, unless it's about politics and religion, off limits. We're not doing that. Like they say, what is it? Politics, religion, and money are the three things you never talk about amongst people, because it's like, it's gonna create an argument.
Yeah.
Like at family gatherings or whatever, you never talk about those two topics.
Exactly.
And you guys are family, so we're not talking money, politics, or religion, unless it's about rum. In which case, rum is God. and
that is our religion.
And rum is money. And rum is the president. I was like, wait, what's the third one?
Bye, everyone.
Bye. See you guys next time. Stay tuned. My Rum Diaries channel. Like, subscribe. You know what to do.